So when we're talking about Scotland becoming its own independent nation from the UK, one thing that we need to take into consideration is the military and matter of security. Most of the outcomes that I found from Scotland becoming its own independent nation are in fact negative and not so much on the positive side. Now, we want to talk about UK's support to the US. We want to talk about the cost of rebuilding the UK if Scotland is to become its own independent nation, and then of course the matter of coastal security. Now, one thing positive as the UK and the US is concerned is they are a very strong supporter of the United States. In fact, in 2003, they spent 18 to 23,000 troops out to support that first push in fighting the global war on terrorism. Now, Britain is also one of the largest spenders in NATO, which spends about 2.5 to 3% of our GDP each year. If they are to become independent, the UK will be a smaller, poor, and they won't be quite as supportive in the global war on terrorism. Rebuilding the UK will cost billions in funding from NATO. This is money that we could be spending downrange helping fight the global war on terrorism, as opposed to spending to rebuild a nation back up to where it was at because they decided to go ahead and unvide. Now, them being divided and strong is how it is and how we would like it to stay right now. Now, Scotland will also be unlikely to contribute to the war in Iraq and the global war on terrorism worldwide. Another matter of concern here is the coastal security. There's 4 nuclear subs stationed for the U.S. as port call outside the coast of Scotland. Now, if Scotland is to become its own independent nation, these submarines will no longer be stationed portside there. They will have to go and find a different place to port. Now, with those subs being there, they help provide the security for that side of the world, especially the Middle East and whatnot. They have a very strong role there, and it kind of goes back to the Cold War days there, where if we lose that strong hold that we have there in Scotland, it could potentially affect our national security. Now, these are just a few of the reasons here why it is better that the UK is strong and supported and stays together, as opposed to breaking apart and Scotland independent itself as its own independent nation.